everyone, I wanted to show you today how to make a positivity candle, and I got the idea for this from the Llewellyn's 2020 Witches Spell a Day Almanac. Theirs is a confidence candle, whereas mine is more a positivity one. So it's from this book where I got the idea from. They make a version of this which is a confidence candle, so I've just tweaked it slightly to make it positivity as opposed to confidence. And what you do is you start off with a candle. I've just got this one because this happens to be the only plain white candle I've got with no scent at the minute. I need to sort out some more and mould some more because I can't use scented candles at the moment because my asthma's decided nope. So this one's a bit battered because it went wrong when I moulded it, but never mind. It'll work for this. So ideally, if you can get like a nice smooth white candle, it's better. You can use a paraffin one or a beeswax or soy candle, whichever one you prefer. I'm not sure about beeswax. I've never carved into beeswax candles, but this will work fine for paraffin candle or for soy. And what you do, first of all, obviously cleanse your candle. And then what you need to do is carve into it words which represent all the things that make you feel good about yourself. So it could be that you're really good at something, like really good at a sport or something, or really good at your job, or you're really good at art or crafts or something like that. It could be anything that you feel proud of, like, for me, it's being a mom. I'm really proud of being a mom. I'm really happy about that, and that makes me feel really positive. And I love having a daughter. I also love that I have this creative side to me, so I can create all my artwork and do all these different arts and crafts and drawing portraits and stuff. So my artwork makes me feel really happy. And makes me feel positive, and it's that sense of achievement I get when I've made something for the first time and it's came out how I wanted it to. So what I've seen other people do when they carve into candles to make the words stand out is they've carved into the candle and then used a marker pen to go over the writing, just to make it so it stands out. You don't have to. It doesn't have to stand out if you don't want to. You could just carve the things that make you feel positive into your candle. You don't have to make them stand out, and you can just light your candle and use it. For me, I wanted the words to stand out more, and I did start off, as you'll see in the video, using my Sharpie, but obviously it's not going to stick to the wax very well, so I wasn't really happy with that. So in the end I went for charcoal, and you'll see how I do that in a bit. So decide, first of all, what I'd do is make a list of words, like a list of things that make you feel positive. Like one for me is I've wrote the word love, because I am loved and I have people that I love. And for me that's a big positive influence in my life. I've also put independent, because I am fairly independent. I go out and do my thing. And I've also put at the top, I put I can, because quite often I'll start off thinking, oh, I can't do that, and then I have to say to myself, no, you can. I can do that, just give it a go. And 9 times out of 10 when I say I can do something and give it a go, I can do it. You know what I mean? So that's the sort of things I carved into my card, into my candle, into my card. That's the kind of things I carved into my candle. So here you can see I'm using a little clay tool, and I'm using that to carve into the candle. You can use something like this, like a little clay tool. You can use toothpicks, anything that's pointy but not to the point where it's going to like scratch your skin if you slip. Basically, you want something that's going to carve into the soft wax quite well, but not hurt you if you slip. And obviously do this very carefully. Don't use anything sharp, because you're just going to hurt yourself. And as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm carving the letters. and scrape out the surplus wax that's in the gaps. Just make sure you've got rid of any bits, because when you'll find when you brush off the like flaky bits of wax, some of it gets stuck in the letters, so you need to get that off. And then if you're using a Sharpie pen, you just then go over the letters with the Sharpie pen just to make it so they stand out. But as you can see, it doesn't look super duper, so I decided to opt for another method, which you'll see me do in a bit. So as you can see here, what I've done is I've shifted to charcoal, and all I did is I got some charcoal sticks and crushed them up and then rubbed that into the words. Now this does make more of a mess of the candle, obviously, but you'll see in a bit, like in a couple of minutes, I'll show you a better way of cleaning the candle to actually minimise the mess. But I kind of like the sort of smudged on charcoal look to a certain extent. I like how it makes the candle look, so you could just leave it if you wanted. First of all, I started by rubbing the charcoal in the letters and then using a baby wipe to like wipe off around the edges. But obviously as the candle warmed up, because I was holding it, that got harder and harder. So you'll see in a bit I'll shift to a different way of cleaning them up. But all you do is carve the letters, make sure there's no debris in the letters that you've carved, and then rub powdered charcoal into the spaces that you've carved. And as you can see, it makes the letters stand out way better than using marker pen. And here I'm just creating some more crushed up charcoal because I hadn't got any to hand. And no, I haven't got a mortar and pestle. I hardly would ever use one, so I just use whatever I've got around if I need to crush something. So yeah, and all I'm doing is taking little pinches full of the charcoal and rubbing it in. And it creates a lot darker text on the candle, especially if you're using like a white candle, because it's such a dark, like such a contrast to the white, which is what I wanted. And then all you do is cover your entire candle in all the words that you can think of that make you feel positive about yourself. And once you're done, your candle will look something like this. And in order to clean up the candle, you can leave the candle covered in charcoal if you like. But I've found that if you scrape the candle over where each word is, what happens is it scrapes the charcoal off the surface of the wax, but then leaves the residue of the charcoal in the letters, so it makes the words stand out a lot better. So as you can see, now I've scraped off around the word art, that stands out a lot more. And it doesn't take long actually. I mean, I was only using my very small clay tool, but it didn't take any time at all. And this is it's like a 10-inch pillar candle that I made, something like that, or 12-inch pillar candle. So yeah, it worked quite well. As you can see, just scraping gently. I'm not going hard, and just scraping gently, and it gets all that charcoal residue off the outside of the candle. If you want to, you could just leave it. So I went round and scraped my candle. Now obviously my candle is a bit more textured at the top because of the problem when I made it in the mould. So you might not have as much mess at the top of the candle as I've got. But even still, it was fairly easy to get rid of. All I had to do for the top half of the candle was press ever so slightly harder, just to get rid of some of that texture as well as remove the charcoal. Then once I finished cleaning up my candle as best as I could, I went over any words that I wanted to stand out a bit more. So that just meant putting a little bit more charcoal in the words. So like I wanted to go over this word strong, because I know it's one thing that like I don't always feel like I'm a strong person, but I am stronger than I think. And I just wanted to remind myself that, I have an inner strength. I just have to tap into it more. And any words where, the one word I actually spelt wrong. So all you have to do is just scrape a bit harder to scrape the letters off. It depends how deep you've carved in. What I recommend is don't scrape too deep into the candle first, and then go over everything a second time afterwards. But yeah, just scrape extra over the word you've spelt wrong and then recarve it. It's an easy fix. You could always scrape the area and just very lightly go over it with a bit of a flame, and it'll smooth it all back out, so it's not a problem. So yeah, once I made the letters stand out more, then it was time to put it on my altar and light it. And there is like a little, you can say like a little incantation if you want, like a little sort of affirmation type thing, about, you know, basically that when you light this candle, your confidence will grow, your positivity will grow. I'm not going to tell you what I say, but you can make up your own from there. And once it was on my altar, it looked like this. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it useful. Obviously, candle magic is something that you can do quite easily and quite cheaply, and thought you might find this video useful. So thank you for watching, blessed be, and bye for now.